So here's just a quick video explaining how I turn this magnetic tile set into wargaming terrain for like cyberpunk, post-apocalyptic, sci-fi stuff. Of course, the strength of this idea is that everything's fully modular. The first step was to sand everything, just help everything stick later on, and then I put on these self-adhesive foam shapes. I'd recommend you add more of these or vary them a bit more, because just adding sort of basic shapes makes everything look a bit like a kid's playground further down the line. And the next step after sanding and putting the shapes on was to cover everything in a texture goop, which is no more nails, wall filler, PVA, and a bit of paint. This is again just to help everything stick and make sure stuff isn't chipping off further down the line. So yeah, here's me doing all the backs now and just waiting for stuff to dry before I get into painting. Painting wise, I had a couple of spray cans of Army Painter primers, so I used those, but it definitely didn't help with the kids' playground look, as you can see here. So I was a bit disheartened at this point. Considered kicking the project to one side and doing something else, but it's important when you get to this point that you do stick with it, because the end result is actually something I'm really happy with, and I'm looking forward to doing more of this stuff. So when we last left off, I'd added battle damage, which was quite a simple process. All I did was I stippled on, actually first of all, everything got a wash. I've got just a simple black wash that I did out of water, black paint, and a little bit of washing up liquid. So everything got covered in that. Then I did some stippling with a dark grey, and then using a chrome marker, just spotted on some battle damage, and that made a big difference. But I think what's changed things now is the extra details I've added. So this mesh is scrim tape, which I think is used for repairing like plasterboard. All I did was I cut some lengths of that, stuck it to a box so it was like hanging over, so just the tip of it was sort of stuck to the box. Sprayed both sides black, so that got rid of the tape part of it, and then dry brushed it silver. So I just had silver mesh, which I then used Mod Podge to attach to the buildings, and some coffee stirrers that I sprayed black, then quickly sprayed brown, and then just snapped them up. Originally I'd intended to go in and sort of darken the edges again, but I actually quite like where the wood is snapped, that it's fresh. It adds a little bit more detail, I think, to things. But yeah, that's the set. I think now it's looking slightly less like an abandoned playground, a bit more like something you could actually play a game with. I mean, maybe the way I've done the roofs here isn't helping. It does look like a toy house. But I think that's been quite effective. I think all I really need to do is maybe buy a second set, just so I can throw in some different coloured parts. Maybe do some internal stuff, and street furniture is going to make a big difference. If I can get my hands on some barrels and some crates and boxes and rubble piles and that'll make another big difference. It's the fact that it all looks so clean right now in and around that I think is adding to the playground look. But yeah, that's just a set of magnetic tiles done up for wargaming. Obviously everything is 100% modular, so there's a lot of play to be had, a lot of setups I can do. So yeah, I hope you found that interesting. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next post or video.